Hey guys, T-Ball here. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Texas. I had a couple requests for the ship recently to get a replay up on it. So I have the Texas Alpha. It's one of the reward ships for alpha testers that played a lot of games during the test. But the differences between this ship and the regular Texas that's available to you guys are pretty minute. There's just a small tweak here and there. So they play essentially the same. This is a New York class battleship, so it also plays very comparably to how I would play the Tier 4 Tech Tree battleship. The key to these, well, here right off the bat, you got this Omaha. If you saw my video recently on the Omaha, you know, it's a pretty juicy target armor-wise, so I'm trying to one-shot him. Got him with a pretty decent shot, but wasn't what I was hoping for, just a little bit behind him. And I need my team to deal with this destroyers, so I'm going to point that out. But just getting back to what I was saying earlier, the key to these ships, I think why a lot of people have trouble with them, is to hit all 5 guns, or to have them all available to fire. You have to be very broadside. And to play the ship well, you need to really be careful on when you present all, or when you open your angle up to fire all 5 guns. It's much better to keep a steeper angle and fire 3 guns and take very little incoming fire. That's, you know, there's situations where you're going to want to fire all 5 guns, but there's situations where you're not going to want to do it. So that's the main thing you need to be weighing in your mind when you're playing these ships. I take a shot at the Mayhan there, again, a little bit behind him, so I can't one-shot him regardless. But I could have done, you know, 2,000-3,000 more damage had I hit him a little bit more flush. And again, I'm going to keep hitting the radio, asking for my cruisers who are in the area to support me. That's, of course, their main job, is to fire at destroyers. Also, Ryan, keeping an eye on his smokestacks, I can see he's nearly stopped, so I'm going to fire pretty flush in the middle of him. No citadels there, but we did get some decent damage on him, though. These low tier, the tier 3 and 4 American battleships, the gun accuracy on them is pretty bad. And I don't have a battleship commander yet. I'm still playing with Dewey, which is, it does make a difference, you know, especially I believe Sims. You can actually spec both of the commanders to increase your accuracy and range and stuff like that. But Sims is more, he would be spec'd out to how I'd prefer to play the ship, just kind of focused on the gun accuracy and stuff like that. And again, the Orion, another consideration here is to turn the guns on this thing takes a long time, and to turn the ship takes a long time, so I'm kind of stuck here. I'm relying on my team to kill that Mayhan. Now, the Pensacola was able to do it. Unfortunately, he died in the process, but you know, he would at least help me out to deal with that ship. Now, the man did get a second salvo of torpedoes off. I almost eat a torp there that I didn't need to, but the problem with these ships is when you're kind of, once you've begun a turn, you can't really abort the turn very easily. Not that mobility is great on any of the battleships, especially at these lower tiers, but the American battleships in general have really poor mobility, so always keep that in mind. That's Pensacola. I believe he's angling towards me. He's doing a very good job. I'm waiting here, holding on to the shot, seeing if he will go full broadside. Right there, that angle, I think I would bounce most of the shots, but I do want to keep my guns firing, so I'm just going to test out a salvo. He just gets one overpen on him, so good job positioning his ship there. But looking on the map here, I do have a Queen Elizabeth to my right, which I'm not doing a very good job paying attention to the Pensacola here. He actually pulls forward into that 4th gun, which was unavailable to fire at the last salvo, and then he kind of goes full broadside, so I don't know if he kind of forgot about me or what his thought process was there, but that ended up costing him the game, or his portion of the game anyways. But again, now I'm trying to angle between that Queen Elizabeth who's shooting me from the right. I'm not doing a very good job. I need to be steeper at him, but the problem is if I get a good angle against that Queen Elizabeth, well, then I open myself up to this New York. Considerations to take into account: there is a cruiser that's right next to me that this guy's probably more apt to shoot at. So that would, in general, I should probably be angling more towards Queen Elizabeth, who also has much more punishing guns as well. So he is behind the island though, so I'm kind of missing an opportunity to take a clean salvo at this New York. Now it's not really giving me a very good angle at this point yet. And here we have another Japanese destroyer come in and launch some torps. Being fully loaded here, I got to take my shot here and do as much damage as I can. We're able to clip him pretty hard there. That's about as much damage as you can do in general, unless you get really, really lucky with the RNG. But again, I'm going to spam the radio. I need the cruisers to be doing their jobs. This Pensacola to my left, you'll see he continues to fire in this New York. That's a mistake. It's going to take him, 20 shots to kill this guy. It's not his job. For a cruiser player, the hardest ship for you to kill is a battleship. The easiest ship for you to kill is a destroyer. And that's the way the game's designed. I'm much more able to kill that guy, and I basically killed him just to undistract this cruiser, hoping he would help me. Now I'm assuming the destroyer's in that cloud, and I'm assuming the torps are set my way, so I'm turning away from him. You always want to be angled vertically at the torps if possible. And you have two options. You can either sail towards that cloud, but that guy's unspotted, and it's a risky play since he can easily one-shot me. So I'm going to try and create distance from him. Now we do get some incoming fire from that island, however, and looking on the map and seeing how many ships they have available, that's clearly the destroyer. So he's left the cloud, and now I'm wondering, did he not fire the torpedoes? So I kind of turn in there, but now they do appear. But one of the advantages of turning away like that, you can see they're really spread out. There's two kind of main advantages of turning away from the torpedo launch. One, they'll eventually fizzle out. They have a range on them, so you can actually outdistance the torpedoes. But two, the further away you get from the launch point, the more dispersed they're going to be. So that's always something to think about. Now I need to, this is a mistake here, I need to slam on the brakes and stop going towards this island. I want to deal with this destroyer, but I'm not equipped to do that. So this is, eventually right there, I finally realize I'm making a major mistake here. But I need as much distance as I can from this destroyer, especially because no one on my team is supporting me. Now here comes the destroyer around the corner. Obviously he's got his torpedoes loaded again. And luckily for me, I do have a salvo loaded. I need to hit him, and I need to kill him now, or this is potentially going to be a major problem. We do score some hits, but unfortunately he's got a sliver of health left. I'm going to slam on the brakes. I probably should have done that already, because obviously he turned and deployed those torpedoes. Had I slammed on the brakes immediately, I probably could have avoided that. But we're lucky just to take one shot there. I'm going to continue to notify these guys on the radio that I need help. And luckily we do have a Pensacola there on my team that helps out. And it's always good to thank people on the radio if they support you like that. So I do that. Now the Pensacola did a good job helping me out with the destroyer, but you can see there on the screen he's obviously exposed now to that Queen Elizabeth. So despite the fact that we're up 4-2 ships and we got a lead in the score, he's about to get blapped, and I could very easily get one shot by this guy. So that's gonna, right there they took a lead on the score. Now I do have the other Pensacola trying to cap, which is fine, I guess. But I need to do my job here. What I'm trying to do is stay alive as long as possible. Now there we lost to Queen Elizabeth, so now all of a sudden we're 2-2, and we're down severely on the score. So I'm doing my best to reverse angle my armor to him. And again, we're trying to hit citadels. He was at a fairly tough angle there. Now these low-tier American battleships, they're not very accurate ships. You do have to keep that in mind. I can't remember if I pointed that out earlier or not. And then, of course, not having a dedicated battleship commanders not helping the accuracy either. But it is what it is. Now this Queen Elizabeth, you got to be aware that based on the caliber of the guns, they can overmatch my bow armor there. So you always got to assume the player you're playing against knows their own capabilities. So I can try and angle, but it's really not going to do a lot. I just need to kill this guy. Luckily for me, he's turning into the shot. That's a bit of an ill-advised play there. I could have very easily killed him, but RNG was in his favor. I was basically did not much damage, a little bit of damage, but not enough. But we're both alive. Now he's got the advantage here. Obviously, I'm detected by a plane, and obviously it's not the other ship's plane. He's on the other side of the map. Even though I can't see the plane currently, I know it's his. Now, having the spotting advantage, he knows where I am at all times, which is obviously a major thing, but I can keep an eye on his plane to track him, because he's either going to go left around the island, which I'm angled towards, or he's going to go backwards, which if he does that, I need to fire at him before he fires at me or I'm dead. Now I'm looking at that plane, and he's kind of circling wider than I believe it would have had he gone forward. And there his secondary starts going off. So I know he's there. He got a shot off first. I was able to get a shot off on him. It did not hit the Citadel again, so that one was a little bit of a rush shot. I don't know if I could have aimed it better or not, but I was hoping to kill him simultaneously. That would have given our team a lot better chance, but having gone down 2 ships to 1, and my Pensacola was chased off the cap, so there's basically no way we could win this at this point. It was kind of a long shot game there at the end, but all in all, that's how I play the Texas, which is very similar to how I play the New York, and it applies to the Wyoming too. So that's it for this one. If you did like the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We got a lot of ground to cover before these Germans come out around the 1st July, so I'm going to try and get as much in as we can before then. Questions, comments, leave them below. I love to hear from you guys. And we'll see y'all later. Alright, peace.